The Auburn Tigers fall flat on their face in College Station, losing to the Texas A&M Aggies 16-10. Let's discuss it on this live edition of the Uptempo Podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Let's go. What's up to my Auburn family? What's up to my Uptempo gang? Sunday morning reaction show, live edition, how we always do it. I am Dustin Smith, joined by my guy, Nick Fraser. Nick, I think everybody, the chat is already popping. I know that you've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say. Before we get into all that, man, football aside, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great, man. I can't complain, man. Hope all is going well with you all besides what happened yesterday, man. But, I'm here. We're going to talk about it today.
I mean, I hate that this is the case, but it is a familiar feeling. And much like last year, we are here to discuss the same issues that we discussed last year. So let's get right into it. Texas A&M 16, the Auburn Tigers 10 in College Station. Xavier Atkins really providing the only spark, the only reason that Auburn even got on the board. He had a 70-something yard interception return that he returned to like the 2. Auburn runs it on the next play on a rollout passing play from the 2-yard line, but ultimately was able to punch it in, and that was it. So just another wasted defensive effort. If you'd have told me before the game A&M was going to be held to 16 points, boy, I would have felt really confident in Auburn's chances. A&M with some touchdowns taken off the board, A&M with some turnovers, A&M with a bunch of penalties. A&M kind of kept Auburn in this game with a lot of their own mistakes and their own, undisciplined habits. But still, as always, Auburn not able to make a play when they needed to. The Auburn offense really in this game, not able to make a play when they needed to. Had 2 drives in the final 4.5 minutes of the game, 2 opportunities to go down and take the lead. And surprise, surprise, they weren't able to do it. There's so much to get into, so I'll just throw it to you, Nick, your initial thoughts coming off of this. What is another SEC loss now? Hugh Freeze is now 1-10 versus ranked teams as Auburn's head coach, and he has 5 wins still, and it's going into year 3 here in the SEC.
Last night, a lot of people probably saw me in a lot of chats. I would pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out, and I would just write 2 words. It's time. I will write those words. And I mean that. But after that, I had to sit down and I had to think about this. And I wrote some stuff down, and I wanted to see. I'm gonna read it, and I want you all to tell me if I'm too far, if I went too far. Bear with me, please. Incompetency is the word. Incompetent and relentlessness are the worst combination of qualities. Why is it dangerous? Relentlessness without competency means someone won't stop pushing even when they don't know what they're doing. Instead of pausing to reassess or learn, they keep making bad moves. Persistence in error compounds problems. One bad decision repeated or enforced with energy can do more harm than several mistakes that get corrected quickly. Resistance to correction often comes with relentlessness. People with this combination may ignore feedback, doubling down on failure. In sports, almost like a player who keeps trying the wrong move aggressively can hurt the team more than they had set out to do. Contrast that with these parents. Will Auburn rather be competent but not relentless? What does this mean? We may miss opportunities, but at least our actions are sound when we act. Would we rather be relentless and competent? That is a breakthrough for Auburn, because that means that's real progress. Incompetent but not relentless. That means our mistakes are limited because we don't push very far. So in short, relentlessness is only admirable when it's paired with competence, humility, and adaptability. Without those, it becomes a force multiplier for failure. Hugh Freeze is incompetent. And it's time. I had to sit down and write that down because I was like, I need to get my thoughts out. I had a lot of things in my mind that I had to get out. I just don't understand how, as the guy who came in and basically told us that we come in and we turn programs around quickly. Well, year one, you told us we didn't have the talent. Okay, we believe you. Year two, you still told us we weren't talented enough, even though you kept a quarterback that we all saw was probably not the best fit. All right, cool. You go out and you go get your quarterback in the 4th, 5th day of the winter portal. You go out and you go get the number 1 receiver in the portal. You go out and get one of the top offensive tackles in the portal, and you go get another offensive tackle in the portal. Not to mention, you've had 2 recruiting classes in the top 10. So talent's not the issue. Check that off the box. Okay. You fire an offensive coordinator after year 1, and a defensive coordinator leaves because now it didn't fit and you weren't able to kind of understand what was going on when plays were being called. Okay, they're gone. Check. You bring in your guy. You say you aligned. And it seems to be more in line with what you feel is comfortable with you. Okay, check that off the box. I don't know what else we can check off the box, Dustin. Only one person left.
Oh, no, hold on now. It was all Peyton Thorne's fault.
Well, yeah.
It was all Peyton Thorne's fault.
You got a point there, but guess what?
Now it's all Jackson Arnold's fault.
You got a point there, but guess what? This is the guy that you went out in the portal and got after 4 days. If I'm not mistaken, the first week of this portal thing, Jackson Arnold was at Auburn and he had his video. Wow, Auburn. It's Jordan Hare Stadium. It's Pat Dye Field. It's Tiger Walk. I believe in Auburn and love it. He said that in a video. So now I get down to the point and I ask myself the questions. You told us it was talent. Okay, so you went out and got 2 top 10 classes. Went out and got a top 10 portal class. You told us that you felt like you weren't really in charge of the offense. You couldn't really step in when you wanted to kind of call plays when it happened. Okay, you get rid of the offensive coordinator that was here before, Phillip Montgomery, and you go out and the defense coordinator leaves and we get in Durkin. Okay, all right, cool. Seems like the defensive side has improved. Check that off the box. There's only one box left. That's you, Hugh Freeze. I'm trying to be as nice as I possibly can when I say this. Hugh Freeze, you're incompetent. You don't know what you're doing. You sold us a bill of goods. I'm just going to be honest about it. And I told everybody that watched the show yesterday, for all you Auburn fans that sat there and said we were being negative when Auburn was winning games because we saw things that needed to be critiqued from this team, but you said we were being negative because we were critiquing a team that needed to work on some things. Like I said in the show, I want y'all to come see me for the next 13 days because what y'all about to get for the next 13 days is warranted. This is what we're talking about.
I have so many tweets bookmarked from like Auburn beat reporters. So I'm just going to just read some of these off. So I'll just credit these guys in advance. Nathan King, Justin Ferguson. They do a great job. And, I bookmarked a lot of their tweets because they were just dropping the stats. It's a good reference point. So Auburn had the ball at the 14-yard line during this game. I was feeling pretty good. Red zone's been solid this season. That was followed with incompletion and incompletion. So let's start there. 2 incompletions on first down from the 14-yard line. Probably could have avoided that by running the ball. Don't worry, I'll get to that. False start, followed by a short run and a field goal. So had a little bit of momentum there. Backwards you go. After the first half, according to Nathan King, who posted, that was Auburn's worst offensive half of football 105 total yards, 0 for 8 on third down since, he says, well, not that long ago. In the loss to Vanderbilt last season, the Tigers had just 5 first downs in the second half and scored 0 points. So it's not, I say that to say, boy, you just saw this. That Vanderbilt game was, 6-7 games ago? A little bit longer than that, maybe 7 or 8. But it was recent. Same thing. New year, new quarterback, same thing. All the weapons in the world. 2003 versus Texas A&M, Auburn scored 200 or had 200 yards, scored 10 points. 2023 versus LSU, a very, very poor LSU defense in 2023. Auburn's had 293 yards, scored 18 points. Vanderbilt in 2023, Auburn had 31 points, 524 yards. Arkansas, 517 yards, 48 points. So those are by far Hugh's best outputs as Auburn's head coach versus SEC opponents. Then Missouri last year, 286 yards, 17 points. Kentucky, 498 yards, 24 points. Remember that game was when Jarquez run it down his throat. And Hugh said after the game, I wish we could have thrown the ball more. After his running back ran for over 200 yards. That's a real comment that he made. And then you have Alabama last year, 399 yards for 14 points. Oklahoma, 287 yards, 17 points. And we see what happens yesterday. Less than 200 yards and 10 points. Really, I'm going to say 3 because your offense didn't do anything to get that touchdown. So there you have it. That is the output for Hugh Freeze for his last dozen or so games as Auburn's head coach in the SEC. It's brutal, man, and it goes back all the way to 2023. Jackson Arnold threw 33 times for 3.8 yards per attempt. Auburn's running backs had 8 carries for 4.8 yards a carry. I'm going to read that again. Jackson Arnold threw the ball for 33 times and averaged 3.8 yards an attempt. Auburn's running backs had 8 carries and averaged 4.8 yards a carry. On a defense, mind you, that was giving up 140 yards a game on the ground. I watched the film all week. You know why I predicted Auburn to win? Against my better judgment, you know why I predicted Auburn to win? Because first Texas San Antonio, the Aggies gave up 24 points, allowed 203 rushing yards and 17 first downs. Versus Utah State, who was a bad football team, they gave up 22 points, 78 rushing yards, and 18 first downs. But then here comes Auburn. 10 points, 52 rushing yards, 10 first downs. And Notre Dame lit them up as well, but at least Notre Dame is a respectable opponent, right? Like, this is not a good defense. This is not a good defense at A&M. It's not bad, but it's not what we gave. It's not what we look like. You have 2 carries for Damari Alston, 6 carries for Jeremiah Cobb. In the last 2 games for Auburn, on third downs, Auburn is 3 for 28. Auburn University, 3 for 28. 3 for 28 on third down. Auburn. Auburn's game-sealing touchdown drive in Week 1 against Baylor featured 7 carries from the running backs. 8 carries yesterday total. The game-winning, game-sealing drive versus Baylor handed off to the running back 7 times. Decided that worked so well, we'll only hand it to him 8 times total. Moving forward. I have a quote from Hugh Freeze last week. When asked about running the football and why he didn't do it more, his answer last week, definitely probably should have ran the ball more. Again, we've got to evaluate that. We've got a good plan to start the second half. It seemed like every possession before that point, there was a penalty. It would either get us behind the chains or once we had a drive, we would get to a holding call or something. But there's no question we've got to reevaluate everything. It's unacceptable. We got to run the ball. Again, it's not the kids. And I'm going to end it with this one. Overall, at Auburn, Hugh Freeze is now 14-16. He's 5-13 in the SEC. He's 1-10 versus ranked opponents. And in those 16 losses, Auburn's average points per game is 15.2 points per game. And if you are one of these people that are getting upset about me going in on Hugh Freeze, because I'm going to go in all week, trust me, all week this will go on. Here's what Hugh had to say about that. Like I said, I'm at the point that I can't put it on them. It's got to be on us. We either have to go evaluate the personnel and make changes or figure out how to coach it better. So out of his own mouth, he ain't doing his job.
Just making me madder.
I know. It's I'm over the yelling. I'm over the getting mad. When because like I told you before we hit record, when Atkins returned that touchdown or returned that interception to the 2-yard line, I had no emotion. There was okay. I mean, I guess a little bit of hope stirred up in me, like maybe Auburn can pull this out. But honest to God, I didn't think we were going to score. I thought it was going to be a field goal. I had no faith in Auburn getting the 2 yards there. Okay, they did. You were still down 13-10. I had no faith. I had no faith in Auburn even going and getting the other 3 unless there was another turnover. So, to be proven right on that, man, it's just so frustrating. I went back and watched that 4th and 1, Nick. Here's what I noticed, okay? Right side is over flooded. They're showing pressure from the nickel. Brandon Frazier is on that side.
Yep,
okay.
Surely was.
So if a blitz is coming from the right side, right? Or if you're overloaded, if the front's overloaded and or you're showing, the nickel blitz, you're showing that you're blitzing from a particular side. You throw into that blitz, right?
Yeah, you showing pressure from that side. You need to throw into wherever the pressure's coming
right.
from.
Okay. That's what I thought. So then I look out there before the play. That's very obvious that that's happening, right? You immediately notice that Brandon Frazier's defensive back that's on him is significantly smaller, obviously, and he's about 6.5 to 7 yards off of Brandon. So the blitz is coming from that side. That's the side that Brandon's on. So you should be looking at this immediately. And it's not even a disguise. It's obvious it's coming from the right, okay? You need 1 yard. You need 1 yard. And the DB is 7 yards off of Brandon Frazier on the overloaded side where the blitz is coming from, okay? So what do? We slide protect to the left. It's clear as day it's coming from the right, Nick. It's clear as day, brother. We slide protect to the left, which then, if you know how this works, Xavier Chaplin's on the left tackle's position. He's got nobody to block. It's now uneven. The already overloaded side's now coming. And Chaplin's just standing there with nothing to do. Not like he would have made the block anyway, but he got nobody. Then the ball snapped. Guess what happens? Obviously, floodgates come from the right. It's okay. The blitz is coming from the right, and we have a mismatch and a guy that can literally just stand where he already is on the line of scrimmage, catch the ball, and get the yard we need. What does our quarterback do? He looks to the left, where only Cam Coleman is, who's been bracketed all day, wasn't bracketed this time, but he had a DB on him, and like they had done at least 15 times from what I could count, the edge rusher drops back and eliminates that throw. By the time Jackson looks at him, the edge rusher's already halfway to Cam, and the DB's on his hip pocket. There's no throw there. Jackson turns back around to where his initial reach should be, and he gets sacked. And that's the ball game. That, to me, sums it up. Just 5 mistakes before the ball's ever even snapped. And it goes back. I did a member pod during the summer. Rod, I said, I'm going to tell y'all why I'm concerned, because this is what I'm hearing. It was about dysfunction and disorganization at practice on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep. That was exactly what was said.
I keep seeing it. It looks the same. It looks the same as the Cal game that, again, your defense was able to pull out for you in year 1. It looks the same as the Cal game in year 2. Boy, a lot of people brushed that New Mexico State loss to the side at the time and said, well, Nick Saban lost to ULM in year 1. I don't give a shit. New Mexico State should never, ever, ever come into Auburn and blow Auburn out by 20-plus points. Auburn looked woefully unprepared. Auburn looked like they didn't want to be there. And New Mexico State had Hugh's offense pegged. And guess what? It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. And you can shit in one hand and wish in another. Tell me which one fills up first, because it ain't going to change. This is cooked. The game has passed Hugh Freeze by. Auburn is undisciplined. We commit 10 penalties a game. The scheme doesn't work. Like you laid out in your intro, Nick. Philip Montgomery caught the blame year 1. Where he at? Ain't no more Philip Montgomery to blame.
Nope.
Peyton Thorne caught all the blame the next year. Where he at? And I'm not saying Peyton Thorne was great. And I'm not saying Jackson Arnold's great. What I'm saying is, how'd they get to Auburn? Neither one of those guys was at Auburn before Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze didn't inherit Peyton Thorne. He went and got him. And he went and got him and doubled down on it. Said, I got to run my system and I'll get him right. Me and Derek Nix will get him right.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what was it.
Then, no. No, we had to dumb it down. It wasn't working. No, we're going to go get Jackson Arnold. We're going to get a guy that got benched last year. See, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. Oklahoma was bad. It wasn't his fault. We're going to fix him. We're going to fix it. We're going to get it right. Okay. Look, man, we're at the point where we know what it is. And I give credit to the fan base, Nick, because I think yesterday was everyone saw it. Everyone sees it. And the frustrating part for me is that I said all offseason, there's a world where Auburn loses to Oklahoma, Auburn loses to Texas A&M, and I'm not even that mad. But it depends on how it looks. Well, I've seen it. It looked terrible. And it looks the same. It just looks the same. It just looks like Jimbo Fisher looked at the end of Texas A&M. It looks like your scheme has been figured out, or at least your version of it has been figured out. They know what's coming. There's no pivot. There's no pivot. You know why Nick Saban was great for so long? You saw Nick Saban win with what? You saw Nick Saban win with the power eye. You saw Nick Saban win with the hurry up. Good coaches can mold around their talent. Okay, coaches have a system, and if they get the right pieces, it can work. Really bad coaches have a system, get the pieces to fit it, and it still doesn't work. And I think that is where Auburn's at. And I know it's hard because we saw Hugh Freeze be successful a decade and a half ago at Ole Miss, and he was successful at Liberty. I think what's happening here, Nick, and I want to hear your thoughts on it, buddy, is I think you're looking at a situation where, I mean, for one, it's obvious the team is not disciplined, the team is not clutch. And sometimes that can be just a personality of a team. But when you get it, which is why I wanted to give this team a couple more opportunities after the Oklahoma game before I went down that route. But after yesterday, it is very obvious to me that those issues have been issues from day one of Hugh Freeze, the discipline, the clutch factor, all those kind of things. But mainly, man, I'm looking at disorganization. And from what I see, his plays are figured out. It's not there anymore. I watched Jake Crane, his reaction yesterday. He said the fastball is not there. He's lost his fastball. It's not working. Jesse Palmer was calling it out. He said, look, A&M's beating the Auburn receivers to the spot. He called it uncreative, boring. He said it looks old and outdated, like it's from the mid-2000s. I mean, you're seeing the same things, aren't you?
Incompetence and relentlessness are the worst combination of qualities. I said that earlier. That's everything you just said is absolutely 110% correct. You know, I try not to be, you know, I try not to be. It's getting to the point now with me where I'm like, I don't even care no more. I'm almost getting to the point now to where I don't even care no more. Like, I can sit up here and prognosticate every week about what this team will look like, what this team can do, what this team should do, based on what we see on paper, based on what we see with the talent, based on what we see with what people with common sense would say is the best method and the best thing that Auburn should be doing to win football games. Can sit here and do that. But the thing that I always forget, and I don't know if I forget or if I'm incompetent to the fact to not even factor it into the decision making, it's the head coach. And I try and I sit here and I'm like, there's no way possible that you could just have that little common sense.
Yeah.
No way possible. I want everybody. This is what I want everybody to do when you get the opportunity. I want you to go back and look at every single game since Hugh Freeze has started. You don't even have to. You can watch some of the game. You don't even have to watch the whole game. You can even go look at the stats. I want you to go look back and watch and read the stats, watch the game, whatever it is, because I'm pretty sure everybody got it either DVR, recorded, whatever. Go back and watch every single game from Hugh Freeze's first game at Auburn up until now. And tell me what games, every game that Auburn has won, what has Auburn done the best at in those games? I'll tell you I give you a short answer. Run the damn football. How in this game did it take Hugh Freeze 18 and a half minutes to 19 minutes before you run a called rush for a running back in this game? You come out in the game and you throw the ball 3 times, 3 and out. You even gave Eric Singleton a rush in this game before you gave one of the running backs a rush in this game. That's incompetent, ladies and gentlemen. And I want y'all to understand this. I'm going to be on this for the next 13 days.
You're going to be on longer for 13 days, unfortunately, brother.
Oh, I'm just saying that because Georgia comes up. I know I am, but it's going to be Georgia's 13 days away. Yeah. But for the next 13 days, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear about this incompetency that we have. I have tried my best. I have tried my best for the past 2.5 years. I even if you go back and watch a lot of the shows on Water Cooler Talk, on Auburn Addicts, I was on Peyton Thorne hard. I said he needed to give the truck back. That's what that was my motto. Peyton Thorne need to get a truck back. That's what I was saying. But then I learned some things, and I was like, "Whew, well, I owe Peyton Thorne an apology."
Yeah. Talk to some people.
Yeah. I owe Peyton Thorne an apology. And Peyton Thorne, right now, if I didn't publicly say it, Peyton Thorne, if you're watching this, I apologize, sir. I really do. I really do. But I have been trying my hardest to not criticize Hugh Freeze, but after yesterday's performance. And when I thought back, like yesterday, a lot of people got the real rap raw reaction from me when the game ended. And like I said, I had to sit down and get all my thoughts out on my notepad on my phone when I was watching it. And that's what I came up with, what I read to you earlier. And I'm gonna read it every single day for the next 13 days for y'all to know exactly how I feel about this man. Hugh Freeze is incompetent. Hugh Freeze is incompetent. I'm gonna say it again. Hugh Freeze is incompetent.
Look,
I sit here, and I feel like I probably consume a lot more media and a lot more stuff than probably the average Auburn fan does. And I would sit here and I would tell you, Hugh Freeze is incompetent. Hugh Freeze is incompetent. Everything Hugh Freeze has told us has been a lie. That's how I feel right now. Hugh Freeze is incompetent.
Martin says
Auburn deserves better.
Yeah, you're 100%. And Martin says it's Auburn, run the effing ball. And that's my thing with this, Nick, is that what we're talking about here, a head coach refusing to run the football, that's a problem anywhere. It's really a problem at Auburn. You took the Auburn job. And Hugh Freeze is from Mississippi, so he knows. He knows who Bo Jackson is.
Yes.
Who Cribbs is, who Cadillac, who Ronnie, who all these running backs are. There's so many, bro. Like, you forget that, like, Stephen Davis went to Auburn. Like, there's so many backs. Ben Tate. Like, there's so many backs, bro. This is Auburn. The foundation of Jordan-Hare Stadium is literally running the football. That's what the program was built on. And I have a head coach that looks at game film. I'm hoping they watched game film of the San Antonio Roadrunners. I'm assuming they did. I watched it this week. Guess what I thought in my head? I thought, man, Auburn can run the football on these guys. That's what everybody thought, except for the guy calling the plays. But, hey, feel better about it, Auburn fans, Because now for like the 8th time since he's been your head coach, he said in the press conference, I should have ran the ball more. I should have ran the football more. I know I just said this last week, guys, but here I am again. Guess what? I should have ran the football more. It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. It's time to call it out. It's just time to call it out. You know, I gave my and by the way, I don't know how you went live yesterday. I'm so happy that I wasn't on anybody's streams yesterday. Because I was actually very calm. I feel like if I would have went live and started talking about it, the crash out would have happened. I'm glad that there's been some time because this lack of 2 carries for Damari Alston, 6 carries for Jeremiah Cobb, and they averaged 4.8 yards a carry, guys. They averaged 4.8 yards a carry. If you're having problems protecting the quarterback, you should probably run football more. Hey, I got a great idea. I got a great idea of how to stay out of 3rd and long.
Who you telling?
Great idea how to stay out of 3rd and long.
Hey, Dustin. Hey, Dustin, what is it? We want to know. What is it, Dustin?
Okay, I got it. Everybody tune in. Listen to me.
Okay.
This is a novel concept, guys. Your running backs are averaging 4.8 yards carry. So if you hand it off to them, it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Yeah. That's about right.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So are you saying Auburn should run the ball?
Yes, that is what we're saying here. Crazy. Let's talk about missed portal additions on left tackle. Percy Lewis last year comes over from Mississippi State. He's supposed to be the one. He's supposed to be the guy. Turns out Percy Lewis was not the guy. Missed evaluation, NIL money, wasted. So this year you say, well, guess what? We're going to go get a first-round guy in Xavier Chaplin. All ACC, whatever the hell that means. All ACC. Okay? He's been the worst player on the field the last 2 weeks. He's been terrible. He's up to 6 pre-snap penalties. 6. Guys, I don't know exactly how much money he made, but I'm just guessing market value. It's over $1 million for the number 1 ranked portal tackle. So that's 2 years in a row where you drop bags. Now, let's ask the question here. Are these guys bust? Or was I correct last year at the end of the season in saying Jake Thornton needs to get fired? Because I said it last year. And if he's the offensive line coach going into Georgia, Nick, then it's going to be a problem. Mike G was saying yesterday on our post-game reaction to the War Show, an offensive staff coach has to get fired because of this. I said, well, I have a proponent. I have somebody who I nominate for that job, for that, and it should be Jake Thornton. I think that the offensive line, and I'm going to be fair here because I've done nothing since I've had this podcast of praising Connor Lew. Connor Lew got his ass kicked multiple times yesterday, and he got murdered on that 4th down play.
He did.
He got destroyed. When Auburn needed it most, he got thrown like a dog.
He definitely did. Definitely did.
Again, your best players, your NFL guys, when you need them to be that, they're not that. And are they responsible for some of that? Yes, they are. But guess who it all falls back on? Do I need to read his quote again? Because the coach says it falls back on him. The coach says it falls back on him. So now I'm going to give you a little peek inside the content game here and what I do. I try to keep it objective. We always try to keep it objective. That's our goal. I'm never going to say nothing that I don't believe. But it is an Auburn show, so I lean towards the positive for Auburn, especially in the offseason.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do shows about, like, this is just trash. And like, it's not. One, it's not a smart business model. No one's going to listen to a show like that.
Very true.
And 2, like, it's a new season. I want to give them some hope. I want to give them I want to give this team a chance, this group a chance, right?
Yep.
But what was my season prediction still? I still predicted 7-5. Do y'all know why I still predicted 7-5 despite all the talent? Because I had major questions about what goes on during the week on the offensive side of the ball. And I still believe that. And I think that's what you're seeing on Saturday. Is he good at play calling? No. Hell, he said when he got at Auburn, I don't think I'm as good at play caller as I used to be. Well, check. That's the one thing you said in that opening presser you were right about. Because developing quarterbacks and turning the program around fast, it ain't happening. Okay?
Not at all.
So, man, we're just looking at this whole thing, and it's, again, it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation. And yes, the play calling and the in game and all that is god awful. We've seen mismanaged timeouts and all kind of mistakes in game from this coaching staff. But this offensive coaching staff. But I believe that all this is starting on Mondays. I think there was dysfunction and disorganization on that side of the ball in the way that it's practiced. I think it's dysfunctional. And I think that's what you see on the field. On top of, I also think it's been figured out.
Exactly.
The good coaches that live a long time, they adapt, they change, they pivot. They have something for the next one. You hear stories about Lane Kiffin changing plays in the middle of a game. I know we rep this play all week, but hey, what if you run the route this way and you run the route this way and we block it this way?
That part.
Mid-game adjustments, you hear about Lane making these snap decisions, bang, and they're working for Ole Miss. You see it.
Yep.
I gave the example of Saban. I know he was a defensive-minded guy, but one, he changed some of his defensive stuff as the game changed. Yep. And two, he always knew what to do on the offensive side. Hey, I'm power eye. Okay, well, let me go get Lane Kiffin. Time to speed it up. Let me go get Steve Sarkisian. He's always been able to change as the game was changing. Look at Clemson right now. You see a coach not changing.
Mm-hmm. Great example.
You see a coach not changing, getting stuck in the mud.
Great example.
Again, we just played a program yesterday that can tell you a story very similar to Auburn's about we had a head coach that could recruit. Boy, he could recruit. Did you see them Texas A&M recruiting classes? Oh, boy, they were top five. Well, you could have all the talent in the world. You could give me the fanciest DeWalt tool set in the world. Brother, if I don't know how to fix whatever we're trying to fix, I can't do nothing with the tools. This man got a tool set and got no idea how to turn the screwdriver on, brother, the power drill on, brother. He don't even know how to plug the battery up. He's asking, what's a flathead? What's a Phillips head? He got no idea what tools he's working with and how to deploy them. And it's painfully obvious, man. It's painfully obvious what's happening here. And I think the bigger question now is, does Hugh Freeze make it through the year? This is about to get ugly. I think it's about to get ugly. You're losing to Georgia. You're losing to Missouri. You're like in Vanderbilt after Missouri. I mean, this is about to be
Kentucky. Arkansas. Excuse me, Arkansas.
You might get one in there, Hugh. You might. Maybe. But don't let Arkansas fire Pittman and get some life. So yeah, man.
Incompetent and relentless.
Let's get to some comments, Nick. Let's get to
the worst combination of qualities. That's what it is. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. And I want that to stick in people's head.
You're not wrong. I think from what I've seen, it feels like yesterday was the moment.
Oh, yes. Like that is true. That is true.
Doesn't it feel like he lost the base yesterday?
That is exactly true. Like I don't know if people were looking for something to find that moment to be like, okay, what's happening? Like, right. I don't know if people were looking for that tipping point, but if they were, yesterday was it. Because offense didn't do anything yesterday. And you were the guy that was supposed to come in and get this offense working. You were the guy that was supposed to come in and get this offense from sputtering and get it into the point to where it's one of the tops in the country. It's supposed to be one, and people gonna want to come here and be a part of this offense. And this offense is going to take us to playoffs and ACC championships and potentially national championships and stuff like that. You were the guy that was supposed to come in here and do it. We haven't seen nothing, bro. We haven't seen anything. We haven't. You have not given this. You have not given this fan base. You have not given the university. You have not given. I don't think you have given you. I don't think you've given recruits, because what is the pitch to recruits now? What is the pitch to a Jace Matthews? What is the pitch to a Sedarian Morgan who you're trying to flip? What is the pitch to a Tristan Keys who you still trying to pursue? What is the pitch to these guys for them to come to Auburn? when you have Cam Coleman out there, when you have Malcolm Simmons, when you have Perry Thompson, when you went out and got the number one receiver in the portal, when you and all this type of stuff, but you can't get him the ball. Cam Coleman was 3 for 14 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
On 8 targets.
3 catches for 14 yards. But we sit here and we talk about how he's the best wide receiver in the conference. If I'm looking at this, if I was just a brand new Auburn, if I was just not even just if I was just a brand new football fan and I saw these numbers, I'm like, y'all crazy.
Right.
How is he the best? How is he the best receiver in the conference? And in that game, he only got 14. He only got 14 yards. How? 3 catches for 14 yards. If I was a brand new football fan, y'all crazy. But for some reason, you want to keep stacking talent. You trying to convince other guys. See, we talk about the Texas A&M game. What I want people to realize is this has implications throughout the whole football program. It has implications in recruiting. It has implications in people that want to donate to the program. It has implications in all of that. When you get out on the field and you don't perform how you're supposed to perform, it implicates everything else. How you gonna tell a kid they're gonna come to Auburn and you're gonna get them the football, but you went out and you got one of the top receiver in the 24 class, and in 4 games, he does not even have 300 yards receiving on the season. Wow. Like, I don't like we talking about the Texas A&M game, but look at it in the macro. Look at it in the macro, ladies and gentlemen. Why would Jace Matthews want to come to Auburn now if you can't get the ball to Cam Coleman?
Yeah.
You got to make, like, right now you are in a situation where this is a business decision with these kids. These kids are trying to get to the next level.
Yep. And
if I'm one of those kids, I have to really sit back and ask myself, is this the best business decision for me to make to go to Auburn with this incompetent dude at the helm?
I hate saying what I'm about to say because I have relationships with parents and high school coaches and all this kind of. I hate what I'm about to say, but I'm going to keep it real. I would not send my child to play football at Auburn. I wouldn't, at least not offensively. Defensively, if you like the scheme and you realize that, hey, I can still get to the pros at Auburn on defense, and you know that that's going to be on the up and up. I ain't knocking you. You're not going to win a lot of football games, but if that's what you're trying, like, I can see how a recruit on the defensive side was like, no, I want to go there and be coached by DJ, and Auburn still puts defenders in the league. So on that side of things, I could get, but like offensively, I wouldn't. If I had a kid and he was a 4- and 5-star prospect, wide receiver, I'm quarterback, I'm not running back. Hell no. No, I'm not.
Like we have this tunnel vision and we look at the game yesterday, but it implicates everything else.
Yeah.
It does. And I hate it. And I hate it because what it ends up doing is it makes Auburn a very unattractive place to come to. That's what it does.
Yeah.
And in this time, you need that type of talent in order to be competitive in college football now. But when you have a guy that's incompetent at the helm and can't get the ball to your best playmaker on the field, you can't scheme up anything to get him in positions to get him the ball to where he can go make a play happen. You just keep him at the X position and have him running 9 routes, bang 8 routes, and curl routes.
I know.
That's all you got this man doing. And you got a Ferrari out there, and you just run, and all you doing is just getting in the car, running to the store, coming back home. You ain't racing it at all. You literally just gonna get in the car. You're gonna get in this new red Ferrari. You're gonna get in the car. I'm gonna drive to Walmart, go get my groceries, and come back home. That's all you're gonna do. Instead of trying to find ways to get this man in some kind of scheme to get the ball in his hands so he can go out here and make plays for you. I said this at the beginning of the season. Jackson Arnold does not have to be all world. He just has to be a really good point guard. Because you got Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Eric Singleton, Perry Thompson, God bless Horatio Fields. You got all these dudes out there that are playmakers. Let them be the ones that go make the plays. You don't got to do it. But for some reason, he can't get through that big-ass head of his, that incompetent brain, for some reason, that he got all these toys out there, but he want to go out here and do. You know what? I'm going to calm down. Incompetency and relentlessness. Y'all know the quote, man. I forgot. Y'all, I've been saying it.
Efficient Gaming has a username change. It is now enough. Fire Freeze. And he says, damn, that statement has come to bite us since last year, Dustin. If you would have told me blank, I would feel this about the game. Yep. Pete and repeat sitting on the bench, right? Like it's the same. It's the same. We come on here and we say the same stuff. Teresa says A&M trying to be A&M and do what they do. Auburn just had to be more Auburn than A&M was A&M. Don't ever underestimate the power of the Jabba. It is alive. It is well. I hope we had a coach coming in to slay it. He has only enhanced it. Brad says, you laid it down last night. You were right then, and it's still right this AM. Yeah, man. I mean, it's all – we know what it is. We know what it is. If you know what you're looking at, and, I mean, Auburn fans know football. This fan base has seen good football before. And, unfortunately, we're becoming pretty acquainted with bad football, Nick. Lance says this offense needs to be ran like the Nick Marshall experiment. Run, and only throw here and there. Arnold can't read the field. He's scared to throw in tight windows, and the O-line can run block. You know, as far as going to, like, specifically that offense, I don't know. But I'll say this. It doesn't look like it's tailored best around Jackson Arnold's strengths. And say what you want about Gus, and I think it was time for him to move on from Gus when Auburn did. But over the time of him being the OC and head coach, let's start with Chris Todd. Chris Todd wasn't a world beater, man. But if you get that version of Chris Todd on this year's team, this team probably 5-0. But what did Gus do at that time? He saw what Chris Todd's strengths were.
Yep.
And he built the offense around him. They didn't ask him to do anything outside of what he's capable of doing. And they were able to design plays to help him be good at what he was good at. Nick Marshall, same thing. No one ever thought, I mean, when he get drafted into the league as a DB, no one ever thought Nick Marshall was going up under center, stepping back and reading defenses and all this. He wasn't asked to.
Nope.
And let me ask y'all this. One of those games that year, Auburn beat Tennessee, right? And I want to say Auburn threw less than 10 passes. I think Marshall was like 3 for 7 or something.
He was.
Auburn won the game by what, 28, 30 points, right?
They did.
Did anybody come away from that game the next day like all up in your hype about being win? You know, you wake up on Sunday morning when you win. Did you wake up and you were like all excited about Auburn and this run Auburn was on? But did you stop and say, you know what though? We didn't throw the ball enough for me in that 30-point win. We got to throw the ball. No, you didn't. You didn't. The sticks moved. The chains moved. First down. You didn't care. You probably even liked the fact that Auburn was running it down everybody's throat because you're an Auburn fan.
Yep. By the way, he was 3 of 7 for 35 yards. He had 14 carries for 214 yards, 15.3 yard average, and 2 touchdowns, and he still had a passing TD in that game.
Did anybody in that performance go, man, I just wish Auburn threw the ball more? No. You were just fine with running the ball to a win. So, yes, Lance, something. We would love to see something. But
bro,
I have no more. It's not going to happen.
You got to laugh and keep from getting mad, bro. You got to laugh and stir stuff.
Well, see, that's the part. That's the part. Is that, man, I'm a big sports fan. Okay? I believe in my squads, bro. Like, if the Bucks are down to the Eagles today, I'm not giving up until it's over.
Tom, shut up. Tom.
Because I know Baker, bro.
Tom, shut up. Shut up, Tom. Tom, I'm listen. Normally I don't go back and forth with people in the chat, but guess what, Tom? Shut the hell up.
I don't see Tom.
Shut the hell up, Tom. That's what I want you to do. Shut the hell up.
Oh, is this an Oklahoma guy?
Yeah. Shut the hell up, Tom. Because I got time today.
watch this.
I got time today, Tom. So don't say nothing else, bro. Don't say nothing else.
He won't. We got a show to do. I mean that he's good luck, Tom. Good luck. Oklahoma's not as good as you think. The Auburn win's not as big as a win as you thought. And I got heat for that last year from the Cal fans, Nick. I said, don't get all hyped, Cal fans. Y'all suck too. No, we don't. Fire Freeze. You hyped because you beat Auburn. What you should know is you shouldn't be hyped for beating Auburn. Fire Freeze gifted 20 memberships. Let's go, my guy. My guy, Fire Freeze. And I'm gonna give. Hey, listen, he ain't just getting with the times. This has been this man's username for years.
Yeah, that's true.
He saw it. He saw it coming. Hey, I had a sneaky suspicion that night of the New Mexico State game. I said, I just don't know. Like that felt grimy. But thank you for the 20 get to memberships, buddy. I really appreciate your support, man. Especially in times like these, buddy. And if you're getting these memberships, man, let's go ahead and let's run the ad real quick. What are you getting in these memberships? Pull it up. JV Squad gets you members only live chat, member shout outs, priority reply to comment, early access to videos. The Varsity Squad gets you everything the JV Squad gets you, recruiting update videos. The game day group chat, JV Squad gets you that as well. I need to change that. And the gameplay with me, Xbox, PlayStation, anything like that. Got a Dynasty mode going on right now, an online Dynasty mode for EA College Football 26. So if you are a gamer and you're interested in hopping in that, just let me know. Message me on X. We can make it happen. And to the 20 people who have received that membership, just check your email to accept it. And I've been dropping exclusive pods. I did an exclusive pod Friday just for the members. We did a live show Saturday morning for the members. You know what the live show was about Saturday morning? How Auburn was going to win the game and how much I believed in them. So I'm glad that's behind the paywall and only so many people got to see that because I sounded dumb, but thank you for the memberships, buddy. Enough Fire Freeze everybody make your username Fire Freeze. Says, yep, it's time.
That'll be funny.
For sure. Every Auburn podcast is just Fire Freeze. Yep, it's time. Enough. I mean, look, discussing like when it actually is going to happen. It's not going to happen this week or anything like that, but it's very much a writing on the wall type scenario. I think they're going to give them the chance to right the ship. I'm comfortable now saying it's not going to get righted.
Well, let me ask you this question. What would be and here I go again trying to get this man a pass. Even though we have seen that incompetent and relentless are the worst combinations of qualities. I'm gonna keep saying that quote. What would it take for you think the fan base to be like, all right, he's deserved. He doesn't deserve the heat that he's getting right now. What would it take?
8-4. It's solely about wins and losses at this point.
Mm-hmm.
A win over Georgia, sure, that obviously heals a lot. Like the next day after that will be great. The fans will storm the field. It'll be an awesome time. But then I have the same questions about, are you going to throw a stinker up against Missouri the next week?
That part.
So yeah, at this point, yeah, I got to see the whole season play out, and you've got to turn around everything that you've been doing for your 2.5 years as Auburn's head coach. It has to change now. So complete reversal of what's been going on and a lot of wins. And then I'll come off of that. But
my thing is this. My thing is when I look at other programs, right? Like I'm gonna use two in particular, and I'm gonna start with this one because I got a lot of flack at the beginning of the season for saying that this team was gonna win 6 games and go to a bowl game. I said Mississippi State was gonna be a 6-win team to go to a bowl game, and you saw yesterday that in Jeff Levy's second season, he had that Mississippi State team leading against the number 15 team against the number 15 team in the country in Tennessee. Now they went into overtime, and Tennessee ended up winning the game because I think Tennessee had a better talent than Mississippi State at the end of the game. But you saw significant improvement from the first year to the second year under Jeff Levy at Mississippi State.
Right.
Then you look at a team like Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. You saw last year Clark Lee go out and beat Alabama, but then the next week they go out and lose to Georgia State. This year, you see them go out. Vanderbilt is 5-0 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Get that through your head. Vanderbilt is 5-0. They're undefeated. And you see them go out. They win last week, get a big win last week. Then they play Utah State this week. Now, they come out in the game, and it looks as if they're about to let this game slip away. But next thing you know, they kick into gear, and Vanderbilt ends up winning this game 55-35. I asked the question, when have we ever, in the tenure of Hugh Freeze at Auburn, seen Auburn football take that significant step from year 1 to year 2? Now we in year 3.
Yeah.
I really want us to sit down and evaluate, why does it feel like every other school, every other coach can get better production, better play, better whatever you want to call it from their rosters and the talent that they bring in, which seems to be not as talented as what Auburn has on their roster? Because a lot of people were saying Auburn's roster is one of the top talented rosters in the country. And if you go by Blue Chip ratio, Auburn had the 12th ranked talented top roster in the country. I believe it was 64%, and that ranked 12th to 13th, right behind Florida. So I asked the question. I really want us to sit down and ask this question. Why does it feel like we can't get that same kind of production and that same kind of, the taking that next step with this guy as the coach? I really want people to ponder that, because I'm gonna keep saying it's not just the Texas A&M game. This is we can point to other games throughout this tenure, and we just be like, Auburn's right there. But then when you right there, you just always get the feeling like, yeah, we ain't gonna win this game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly do not understand it. I don't understand it. I do not understand it, and it just baffles me. And it kind of makes my head hurt sometimes, because I'm just looking at it like, there's no way we should still be looking and in the same gear in year 3. There has to be some type of step taken forward to where we're not having the same conversations year after year after year after year. And I just don't understand that. I don't get it. And if somebody has to answer, please tell me why you think that and what it is.
Yeah, to me, man, I just really feel like, again, I go back to Jimbo Fisher, because that's a good hire at the time for Texas A&M. He won a national championship. We know about it, unfortunately, because it happened to us when he won it. Mm-hmm. He wins a national championship at Florida State. So Texas A&M is going hiring a guy that had recently had a Heisman winner, was known to be a good recruiter, and did that at A&M, and had just won a natty, and it was a respected offensive mind for decades up to that point. Yeah. And guess what happened? The game just kept going this way, and at some point it passed right on by Jimbo. Well, Hugh was just a few stops down, but it's gone right on by him too, man. That's really what I think is going on here. I think his scheme, like the way he employs it anyway, I think his offense has been figured out. And I don't think he has a pivot. And I think that he went and got the Cam Coleman's and all these guys, thinking that they would be able to out-athlete whoever was in front of them. And make up for that. But Cam Coleman's a 5-star receiver going up against teams that got 5-star DBs, and got 5-star D linemen that are sacking your quarterback, so making it irrelevant. So it's like, yeah, you got talent, but the gap was already this thin in the SEC, and now with the portal, the gap's closing. That's why Vanderbilt's 5-0. The portal, they're able to backfill and go and fill out spots and go get a guy like Diego Pavia. That's why they're there. So that's why Mississippi State has had this big jump so quickly. They got guys out the portal that fit their system, and it appears that Clark Lee is a good coach. It appears that Jeff Lebby might be a good coach. So what I think is going to happen more so in this day and age in college football is I think that obviously coaching was already super important.
Yes.
But I think more than ever,
even more than ever,
because you're not just stacking rosters anymore.
That part.
Everybody's got a roster similar to yours.
Yeah.
And it's just like the NFL. I've been giving this example since the Oklahoma game. There are times where a 7-3 NFL team loses to a 3-7 NFL team.
Yeah.
And people that follow those teams knew it was coming all week because of the matchups.
Yep.
They say, hey, what we're good at, they're actually good at stopping.
Exactly.
Because the margins for error in the NFL are this thin. They're so thin. The difference between the good teams and the bad teams is super small.
Yep.
So little things, well, not little things, but things like coaching and things like quarterback play kind of take precedent.
Yep.
And it becomes obvious when you don't have one.
That's why you rarely see blowouts in the NFL.
Right. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in college. I think that it's getting closer. Rosters are all getting more and more similar, and the cream of the crop of the coaches are rising to the top.
Yep.
And Hugh Freeze has been a great recruiter for a long time, and his scheme and his system was new at a certain point in time. No one had ever seen it. It was RPO. It was up tempo. They couldn't adapt. Well, now a lot of stuff that what he did is just part of offenses.
Yeah. That part.
It's seen. It's not
the whole thing.
Yeah. And so it just feels outdated and washed out, and it feels like he doesn't have another move.
I think what you're going to start, and to that point, I think what you're going to start seeing now, instead of guys like instead of guys having like systems that are just tailored to RPO or just tailored to the air raid or just kind of tailored to just, those styles of systems. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of multiple offenses now, or you're going to have to see those for the simple fact, because what we're seeing right now at Auburn is a guy that's just being kind of just stuck in his own way about what he feels is going to work. But to your point, it does feel like the game is passing or has passed him by, and teams are figuring it out. And you made an analogy earlier about how Lane Kiffin in-game adjustments, even in quarters, about how, we can change this play. If we do this one thing different, maybe this gives us an edge here against this defensive set that we're seeing and things, stuff like that. So I think what you're going to probably start seeing is, I think you're probably going to start seeing a lot of more multiple offenses in this game. So you may see a lot of teams come out that may run some offset eye. You may see some guys come out that may run pistol formation. You may see offenses come out and run a lot of spread. If I was a head coach, that's what I would be looking for. I would be looking for a guy that has that has pieces of all kinds of offenses that can run multiple, just to keep defenses thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I just don't understand like how. Well, I do understand it, but I really want to get everybody else's thought process on it. I just want to know, why do you all think that it seems as if all other teams are just progressing, but Auburn is almost just kind of like in a neutral position with all the talent that we have, with everything, all the resources, everything that's there, and all type of stuff like that? Why does it feel like Auburn is just in a neutral position when it feels like everybody else in the league has caught up or surpassed Auburn? I want to know why people, what their thoughts about it is, because I think it's important to hear.
It's demoralizing. It feels very much like what Tennessee went through, and it's like
okay. Oh, so are you talking about with Philip Farmer and all those guys, Butch Davis?
Yeah, and like there was, and there's a lot of similarities. And there was people that were like, "Well, we never should have fired Philip Fulmer." You look back on it, they were right to fire Philip Fulmer. His best coaching days were behind him, but they just didn't get the next three hires right.
That part,
and eventually they got it right. I just think Auburn's in that phase, man. Like, it was time to move on from Gus Malzahn. It had gotten stale. I don't want to. It's a 5-year-old conversation at this point. So regardless of whether you agree with that or not, doesn't matter. They moved on from him. The next guy was the worst hire that you could possibly make. And you followed it up with one that turns out, I didn't think it at the time, but is a bad hire too.
So if history serves us correctly, we have one more coach.
I hope not, Nick. God, I would much more like it to be LSU-ish. I would much more like it to be LSU-ish, okay? Like, LSU slipped. LSU slipped that last year with Eddie O. And then they went and got BK, and it was 9 wins, Heisman trophies. Good. I'd much rather it be that. I don't want to do that, bro. I can't do this here.
Oh God, that's funny, bro.
I can't, dude. Like just thinking about more of this.
Oh man.
No, there's got to be some hope at some point.
It has to be, man. Like you got to laugh to keep from being upset, but then you just realize you got to get it out. You got to get out.
Fire Freeze says they called me a hater last year when I changed my username. Well, here we are. Swore damn eagle though. Yeah, I mean,
shout out to Fire Freeze, man.
Listen, bro, I was seeing the same things you were seeing, buddy, and then hearing some things. Rodney says, "What's up, Dustin? Did you get the message I left with your dad, Bruton, Alabama, in the house? Shout out to everybody in Bruton, Alabama, in the 251. Everybody in Flomaton, East Bruton, and all the surrounding areas."
Wait, is that Rodney? Is that Black Magic? Is that Black Magic? The car he got the Chevelle. He got the Chevelle. That's called. He called it Black Magic. I think it's the same guy.
Answers in the chat. He's and that's my dad from back in high school. So
okay.
He played pops on the show and shows love sometimes, as he did here with the 1999 super chat. My guy.
Shout out to him.
Appreciate you, Rodney. Appreciate you being here. Busy week for the family, man. We have like a lot of stuff going on actually, and none of it's really positive. Kind of one of them things. So Dad's been busy with some not so fun stuff, but I will definitely get to him and get him to holler at you, buddy. Ant says, I would have called. I didn't come here to be a drop. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I meant to start one of you.
Ant for OC. Ant to change his name. Ant for OC.
Okay, let's go. Hey, Ant, are we running? If we're running, I'm willing to put in a good word for you. What happened to the Freeze 5? It's frozen. Yeah, I'll tell you. What happened to it, JB.
What?
5 good football players.
Yeah,
it's the freeze part that is. It's the freeze part that's holding them back. Unfortunately, they're the Freeze 5. So I think it's the freeze in that is really the issue. I mean, you throw the ball to Perry one time.
Yeah,
he doesn't come up with the play. It's a good play by the DB.
You got his hand there late. He did.
Yeah. He still could have maybe made the catch, but good play either way. I would have liked seeing him throw the ball more to him, but you know what? We'll probably see that maybe one time the rest of the year before he announces a transfer or something. All this talent is being wasted. The talent will leave. This will get dumb bad. Yeah, see, this is the thing, too. I see the people that are defending this and acting like Hugh Freeze, and I know you're not doing this, JB. I'm just using this comment to make a point. There are people that are saying, well, we can't fire Hugh because what happens to the talent? What do you think happens if you go 5-7 again? Mm-hmm. And even if everybody agrees to stay, if it's, Cam Coleman come back next year no matter what, and all these guys are coming back next year no matter what does it matter? He doesn't know how to use them. Who cares? Who cares? He doesn't know how to use them.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter who he has. Unless Cam Newton comes through there, which he's not. And I'm starting to think that if he did, he would go, hey, let's have him throw the ball 45 times a game. He's got a big arm.
Who you telling? Man?
He got a big arm. He's 6'5", 250. He got a big arm. We don't want to run our quarterback like it would be something stupid. It would be something stupid.
That sounds very Hugh Freeze.
Oh, I wish I would have ran the ball with Cam. Well, that's what you would have got. Andrew says, just don't have any hope. You shouldn't. I hate to be this guy. You shouldn't. You should have no hope in Hugh Freeze. And if you do have hope in Hugh Freeze, I'm not knocking you, okay? I'm not knocking you. Fans, think however you want to think. All I'm saying is my eyes work. Andrew, your eyes work, apparently. We see it. You see what it is. You shouldn't have any hope, buddy. You shouldn't. Why would you?
I'm going to say this real quick, and a lot of people going to get upset. Shout out to Tez, man. Tez said this on the reaction show last night on Auburn Addicts. He said, well, not on the show. He said after the show. He said, don't be surprised if Auburn beats Georgia. And you want to know why? And we already had talked about this at the beginning of the season. He said, don't be surprised if Auburn beats Georgia because Auburn matches up really well against Georgia. If you actually look at the matchups, Auburn matches up really well against Georgia.
I got to push back on that because you matched up well versus Texas A&M.
You did. But what we forget is Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I mean
that's the part. That's the biggest. Like right now, when we make our predictions, our biggest X factor in the game has to be Hugh Freeze. From now on, and I've learned my lesson. So please believe I will not be. I might have to change a lot of my predictions from this off season and things and stuff like that because Hugh Freeze.
Hey, I picked Auburn to beat A&M off of matchups. I said Auburn just matches up well. Auburn can just run the football down their throat, and that's going to help us down the 3rd and long on the road.
Exactly what I said.
I didn't factor in the incompetency.
Exactly what
I don't trust Auburn to hire the right person anymore. You shouldn't. It's a very valid feeling, and you shouldn't. Matthew says, throw the bag at Missouri's coach. Get him here. I'm not going to push back on this. We're not going to do the whole top 5 coaches thing today, but I got a feeling, Matthew, like that episode will be coming up in a few weeks. At least a few months. I'll for sure. I'm willing to bet a lot. I'll be doing the new coach hot board come late November. So yeah, and I will say that I said this yesterday on the post game. I love drink because of what Jordan says right here. Doing more with less.
Yep.
So yeah, get ready, opposing fan bases, because Florida about to be looking for a new coach, and their fans are going to be talking about who, and their media is going to be talking about who. Auburn about to be looking for a new coach, and they're going to be talking about who. Who is it going to be? So yeah, this is coming. Get your list ready, because I'm getting mine ready. Goal is down there in South Florida. I like him. Like I'm getting mine ready to go. So yeah,
I've already put out there who I want to come to Auburn. I know it's not gonna happen, but I've already said.
Is it who we talked about before?
Does it start with an M?
No.
Okay, no, it's a different guy. Nah,
I'm glad you
no, I know who you're talking about. That person, he's like in my top 3. But my number 1 guy is Marcus Freeman. I want Marcus. It's not gonna happen, but I want Marcus Freeman at Auburn. I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm gonna say this. We'll get some more comments, and we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna say this now, okay? Because this conversation will come up, and I've already received 2 DMs about it since the game went final.
Okay.
You asked me about this last week as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this out here publicly. Do not ask me about John Gruden and expect a reasonable response. I am a Buccaneer fan. I've been a Buccaneer fan my whole life. You are asking me about the man that brought us our first Super Bowl. I have nothing but glowing reviews to say, and I don't come in any kind of light from other than that's my freaking dude. So don't ask me about Chucky, okay? Because I am super biased. You see it right here. That's my guy. So I'm not the guy to ask on that, because I'm just telling you, I've loved the man since the 2nd grade, and I know I've already got it, Nick. I've already got it in my DMs. What do you think about Gruden, man? You know, I'm like, don't ask me that. Don't ask me that, because I'm not able to view that objectively, is what I'm getting at. I can't. I love the man too much. Rodney says we are going to start losing players. We are. I mean, that's part of this. JB, thank you, Fire Freeze, for the gift. Absolutely, man. Yeah, thank you for that, man. Y'all get in there. Sometime this week, I would say either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll have a midweek pod dropping for you guys. Man, I haven't really been able to do any like recruiting update videos because not a whole lot's happening. But we'll do like a check-in. That's what we'll do. We'll do a check-in on the prospects, the guys that are committed. We can get kind of look at their film through the first half of the season for those guys, talk about how they're performing. So, yeah, and then I'll say so at least 3 member pods, 3 exclusive pods just for the members coming out this week. Stay on the lookout for the first one come Tuesday, and then we'll have some later in the week as well. So I'll have those out for you guys for sure. And we'll still do the Saturday morning live shows that we've been doing. I want you guys to get in there on the Saturday mornings, and let's just kind of conversate back and forth. We have a good time doing that. Eric says, as bad as it is right now, Auburn has every resource possible to field a championship football team. And that's the part that's discouraging, but yet still, I also do think that in this day and age of the NIL and the transfer portal, like what you've seen at Mississippi State, I think the turnaround can be quicker.
Yep.
And I think that you could convince some guys to stay. Now, that would depend. That would depend on scheme. There's a lot of variables that go into something like that. But I do think there are some guys, especially if you promote from within, like if you promoted DJ Durkin. And I'm not advocating for that today. We're just walking through some of these options because this is going to be Hugh Freeze's last year as Auburn's head coach. if you promote from within, then you can keep majority of the defense intact. And then I think with NIL and all that kind of stuff, you can maybe be able to convince a lot of those guys on offense to stay, given the scheme. If it's just not a match for them at all, then obviously not. But I think maybe that's a possibility. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe it's a total rehaul. You see some of these places got 50, 60 new places when they hire a new head coach. Maybe it's something like that. But either way, something's got to change. So because we can't keep banging our heads here. And like you said, Eric, I mean, there's too much that goes into it, Nick. And I'm gonna wrap it up here, brother. This is the part that is the most frustrating about all of this. Is that the Auburn fans deserve better. You guys deserve better, man.
They do.
You show up and you show out no matter what. And that Texas A&M game with Cadillac as the head coach, there's very, very few schools that are going to provide an atmosphere like that for a 3-6 football team. Only Auburn, man. Only Auburn. Auburn and very few. There's a few other ones. But, man, this fan base deserves better. And I know that for a long time in my life, the easy thing to do for Auburn fans and some Auburn fans anyway is to blame the evil boosters. Everybody wants to blame Jimmy Rain. Let me tell you something. Those people are giving everything they can to Auburn. They're giving all the money that they can. I mean, like, everything's there. There is everything that Hugh Freeze has asked for, he has received.
That is true. That is very true.
Money-wise, facility-wise, help from the boosters, there is nothing. You hear me? Nothing where Auburn said no. It's been whatever you need, Hugh. Whatever you need. To the point to where I have to ask the question, when I watch a left tackle, you keep saying we're going to take you out the game if you make another mistake. He makes 3 more mistakes. He doesn't get taken out the game. Is that money? Is the only reason Xavier Chaplin's still in this game because of the investment that was made? Do you have to play him? I don't know. This conversation needs to be had. I'll tell you this. That $100 million facility is pretty nice. And Auburn may have waited a little bit to see how the rev share thing was going to go. But once all that kind of fell apart and it was like, okay, you see what this is going to be, what did Auburn do? Went and got 5-star safety. Went and got high-ranked, top 100 4-star defensive lineman in Jaquez Wilkes. Went and got a 4-star offensive tackle. Those aren't cheap. So once it kind of became obvious what Auburn, Auburn tried to follow what the rules were. Don't blame Auburn for doing that because they're going to punish Auburn before they punish the other guys. We found that out by now. But ultimately, Auburn said, okay, rev share is not what we thought. The rules are not going to be what we thought. We're going to go drop the bag and get the number 1 safety in the country. The money is there. The money's there. The resources are there. The support is there. There's no evil boosters behind the scenes trying to screw Hugh Freeze. They're trying to help him. He's got nothing but support from everything and everybody around him. And what I saw yesterday looks no different than what I sat in Junior Stadium and watched versus New Mexico State. It looks exactly the same. Montgomery's not there. Peyton Thorne's not there. And you've had 2 more years to get your guys in here. And it looks exactly the same.
Yep.
And I would love to be wrong. And I hope I'm wrong. But I'm confident that I won't be. As long as Hugh Freeze is the head coach of the Auburn Tigers, it will continue to look the same.
Yep.
And that's the part, man, that is discouraging. I think it's a harsh reality that everybody came to yesterday.
Yep.
Look, great crowd today. Like 200 people in the live chat coming off of a devastating loss. I know everybody wanted to get in here and vent, man. And I, hopefully we provided a little therapy session for you guys. I think it's obvious Nick loves his Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, man.
I think it's obvious I love my Auburn Tigers.
Yeah,
it's
man.
obvious in my interactions with y'all that you love your Auburn Tigers. We all deserve better. Auburn deserves better. It's time to call out the bullshit because it's just pathetic. Auburn's got to be better than this, and it starts with the head coach. He's got to go, guys. We'll be back later in the week. Please do me the favor of liking the video, subbing to the channel. Nick, you were kind of – I saw you a lot of people complimenting the show this week. I guess you had an episode where everyone was saying this is one of the funniest episodes they'd ever seen. A little bit later on in the week, I still got to go back and watch it, man. I saw everybody tagging you on Twitter saying this is one of the best podcast episodes they'd ever seen. I still got to go back and check it out. So y'all having a good time over there, man. Tell the people where they can go to find everything going on over there at the Water Cooler Talk podcast.
Shout out to the guys, man. We talked about adjustable headbands and neck fat and the head fat. Like, could you lose head fat? That's what we trying to figure out. Could you lose head fat and adjustable headbands? But shout out to those guys, man. Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We are here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We around the water cooler, man. Call-in show. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. We at 780 subscribers right now, trying to get to 800. So we are 20 people away from hitting 800 subs. So if you have not subbed to Water Cooler Talk, please go over there and chop it up with us. We talk Auburn football, SEC football is what we cover over there on Water Cooler Talk Sports. And then, of course, every Auburn game, we have a live game stream. We call it the locker room. Get in there, you get to watch me sit down for the whole game and react to the game. Try to give you that ESPN quality on a Subway budget. So
you're a better man than me. I wouldn't have a microphone if I was recording during the game yesterday. It'd have been broke.
Oh man,
TV remote broke anyway.
We appreciate Oh, that's good.
I had to break something, Nick. I had to break something.
That's good. No, man, we appreciate you so much, man, for letting us come over here every week and chop it up with you every Sunday morning, man. Appreciate you.
Been a good time. All right, y'all. So y'all stay tuned. More content dropping. The next regular episode will drop Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. I'm pretty sure we know what the topic will be. Warrior Damn Eagle. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.